Okay, welcome to the second part of Inspire Studio tutorials. In this one, we'll go through the user interface by opening a file that comes with the package. So let's go ahead and click on File Open. And in your installation folder under Applications, if you're on a Mac, or on Program Files, if you go to Altair and all the way to Assets, you can see there's a Scenes folder. So if you open that, there is a hairdryer.istudio pack. And a pack file is a way for you to uh, create a single file including all your textures and any linked files. So that's what this is. And a pack file is easy when you send it to somebody else in your team or in your company. So I'll just select this and click on open. And it'll say I'm opening a pack file and it's going to extract it into that folder. I'll say okay. So the extraction will start and it'll ask if you want to recalculate history. And this happens only when you open files that are from a different version. For our case, you can say yes, and we can always fix things if it's broken, but I'm pretty sure that everything will be fine. So when it's finished extracting, it's going to say it's successfully extracted and saved to that location, and you can hit OK, and the scene will be populated. So this is a very basic scene that you can just play around with in terms of selecting objects, moving objects, and so on. Some of them, when you move, might break downward operations, but I'll show you what else you can do in the scene. So here is the scene, and as you can see here, it's showing you the file name. And when I move my mouse over any part, it is pre-highlighted, and this is a setting that you can change in the preferences. So file preferences, or on a Mac, you can go to preferences, and here you can go to general, and the pre-highlighting can be turned off. But I like the pre-highlighting because it lets me know what I'm going to select. So when I select it, the object gets highlighted, or the part gets highlighted, and the part is also shown here in the left. So it doesn't scroll exactly to that location in this model browser, but it'll definitely show you the highlight if you scroll down, and also shows you the construction tree here for this round 22. If you select this one, and this is the speed control, right? So let's say speed control. So if I had named it, it would be very easy to find this. And the way I would have done it is just go, even if I can't see it here in the list, I can just go to find and just type in the name speed or any first few characters, and it'll find it. And now I can edit it and so on. So that's where you would find something in a list. And you can also filter your objects by the type. And there's also another search operation, find. Okay, let's type in circle. And then you see when I hit this down arrow, it can traverse through the circle one by one. So this way you can find some things that you know are named in a particular way and then traverse through them. So I'm going to turn this off. And if I want to pan and rotate, I've already covered this, but right click actually pans it. The shift right click is for orbit, and you can also zoom in and zoom out using your mouse wheel. And if you want to fit a certain object in the view, you can select it and hit F on the keyboard. So it's going to zoom in, and then when you select nothing and hit F, it's going to zoom out to fit everything. And let's just make a small box selection and hit F again. So it's going to zoom in here. All right. Now, there are some handy filters for you to pick a curve or a surface. When I hit C on the keyboard, it's just going to select only surfaces. So let's say I want to select all of these. I just draw a box and it'll select only the curves. But if you wanted to select all the surfaces in this scene, I'm going to hit V. So that'll toggle to the surface only. So when I select make a box, um, it's going to select only the V. So make sure that the toggle is on. So the toggle is, it's basically on and off. So right now the curves is off and only the surfaces is on. So when I select create a box, it's selecting only the surfaces. I like to use this when I want to quickly move them into a layer. So I would have created a curves layer like I've done here. So I can also create a new layer in the layers browser, and I can call this surfaces, and make sure my surfaces filter is on, do a box selection, right click, say move to layer surfaces. So since the surface layer has its own color, everything that goes into that layer will turn to a different color. So another handy, you can change the color of the surface by clicking on this. So let's say you didn't want this uh, kind of a color, so you can just move it and it's going to change it. And another handy filter is Q to hide all the curves. So this just gives you a very clean look. So isolate is a very easy and very handy tool if you want to select something and just look at it. So I'm hitting I, and when I hit I again, it's going to toggle the isolate. So right now I'm in surfaces mode, but if I hit 1 on the keyboard, I'm going to be in wireframe mode, 2 surface mode, 3 I'm going to matte cap, and the caps can be changed here by going to display modes and going to matte cap and selecting something that you already have, and you can throw in any image into that and it'll create a matte cap for you. So you can go into this folder, um, show matte caps folder, and here I have so many maps. I can throw in some more if I want. So the next one is 4, which is like the zebra mode, and you can analyze the surface continuity and anything here. 5 is your quick render, and 6 is your interactive render. So here it's going to take a couple of seconds, but then it's going to res up. And within the surface mode, you can hit R if you want to hide all the edges, T if you want to see the edges, and Y is to see the isopops. So sometimes some people like to view this sort of a shape, whereas R will be very nice to take a screenshot if you want to share this with somebody. So those are some of the modes that I wanted to share. You'll most likely be working in this with the T enabled because that gives you a good idea of the edges. So in the next video, we're going to look at snapping and also the grids and how they can be used. Okay, see you in the next video.